might be an indicator of your skill.
Does it make you higher IQ? I think I read something like that.
Right.
People who wear glasses are smarter. So
I think that these glasses aren't even real. I just wear these glasses just because
look good. Yeah.
I get terrible headaches from light. So I think these are just like kind of help me with the. It's probably all fake. It's probably all just a placebo, but it definitely works for me. So I'm going to stick with it. But both of these guys seem like I just always associate wearing glasses with being more intelligent. I don't know why. I don't know why that is the thing for me.
Probably because it's a fact. So
there we go. All
right, and we got someone in the chat. What's the current record between these two going one-on-one? That would be interesting to know. If anybody's got that information, you let us know.
That'd be wild. Shout out to the Ravensburger Play Hub.
They have run into each other at least on several occasions in different tournaments. I mean, they're both big-time players, and they both travel around playing. So
can you imagine if I believe there could be a world when the Ravensburger Play Hub could start to provide information like that, the head-to-head.
Awesome. Yeah, the grudge match. Grudge match. Let's make it happen.
Believe it, as we are shuffling those decks, and both of the players are super cool and calm, man. Just having a nice little bit of table talk. Both of them
they're shuffling up very extensively.
Still think Dylan is winning the sleeve contest.
I have to agree with you there, Janie. Oh, and yep, here we go for some more shuffling. I'm sure the people at home are just enthralled by this. What do you like? Do you like the Dylan technique, or do you like the Jonathan upright shuffling technique?
I mean,
the
upright is not for me.
Yeah,
okay, I like to keep it simple. I like to keep it clean. What are we doing here? Let's go ahead and get those things a little horizontal. What vertical shuffling? Knock it off, man. Let's get over ourselves with that, Mr. Lamb there. Man, it does look kind of cool, though. Not gonna lie. If it works for you, it works.
Yeah. I know. But yeah, definitely the sleeve. Like you said, those Vanellope sleeves are really something. I really like them. Might have to go get a copy after this.
For sure. I think they might be some customs. I will be sending some lawyers there after Dylan, because that does seem like a risky thing to do. But they do look kind of cool, though. Not gonna lie, as I think it's cool enough here. So checking the hand, Dylan on the draw, looking at Jonathan Lamb. He has that sail on two. And I love starting.
We're putting the genie down.
I love when I'm playing these Sapphire decks, and I am playing Sail the Azurite Sea. I love to be able to have those in the opening hand. Makes that altar a little more free, and you can kind of curtail your hand a bit better to kind of set yourself up a little bit. As we're seeing some of those high calls, uninkables back to the deck, it seems. And Sail goes.
But one thing when you're playing this deck now, if you keep the Sail on the draw, and your opponent Mowgli's turn 2 and snatches a snail out of your hands, it is just makes you physically ill, because then you just ink and pass on turn 2, and you are having a very sad game after that.
And it looks like Jonathan Lamb might be considering, and we will pass it off.
Sail Genie Elsa. I think we've seen this curve once or twice before, JDZ. Have you ever seen anyone go down that route?
I've seen this one many a time before, but I am so hungry for a one-cost character. Like, I would love to see a Basil or one of those, even one of those Royal Guards in my hand here, just to kind of help contest the early game. That would be an absolute vibe, where Dylan is going to send back 3 cards there.
And what Into the Unknown is that? Let It Go. Was that one of the promo Let It Goes?
That might be.
I think I might have spied one there.
Yeah, that might have been one of those, and I believe this Luminaire has like 8 or 9 copies of that card.
Wow, so Jonathan just flexing here. I like to see it.
For sure. He's a very accomplished player. He has a lot of success last season, and I think he had a ton more success this season, just trying to finish the climb and become a DLC champion as well. Is going to be Jonathan Lamb, a.k.a. Lamb Chops, as we are shuffling these decks one final time.
All right. And, did you see how many cards Dylan altered? I missed that one. But
I think he sent back 3. Kept keeping
so
4 in hand.
Probably got a pretty good hand then, yeah.
Yeah, both Illuminators seem like they have a significant. If we try to get a little final cut there coming in from Dylan.
The reverse cut, but yeah.
I like that.
All right, this is a good looking hand here from Jonathan. I think he'll be feeling good about this one. The only thing we're missing, though, might be a one-cost character. I don't see one.
We don't have it. We do have that Junior Woodchuck guidebook. We have that Elsa. We don't even have we have a 4-cost character in the form of Genie, and also that Iago.
Iago, yeah. Do you think you go for the Iago here? That's we got 3 copies of Delamoon's Lullaby in Dylan's deck, so sometimes when you play the Iago out, if it just gets an action that targets it, it can completely blow you out.
It'll set you back a time. So this would be an interesting play. If I'm learning Blurple, I'm gonna pay attention to that 4-turn play. I still think we might lean on that Genie because that Delamoon Lullaby is a thing that you have to worry about. Into the unknown is going to be added from deck to hand, but you have to kind of watch out for these Mowgli's as well as Let It Go goes down to the Inkwell. I might not be shocked or surprised to see that Into the Unknown find its way out of here soon. But the Mowgli, I think you have no resistance. You're going to lose a card here if Mowgli comes down. Or Ursula.
Yeah, that's pretty slow, though. So this is always the line that you've got to walk when you're playing the Dogs deck. It's like just developing a single one quester on turn 2 often doesn't feel good. So sometimes you just got to develop 2 characters, try and build up towards your tramp. Ooh, and yeah, Dylan will be very happy to see that second copy of Into the Unknown going down to the bottom of the deck.
And there, we talked about that earlier, having that Daisy Duck quest for 2. Usually you're a little reluctant to send that Daisy on a quest this early, especially giving your opponent more ink, more resources to work with. But there are a lot of actions in the Sapphire Amethyst strategy, and you have a good chance that you might not give any advantage. Take your free lore and keep it pushing as Lady Elegant Spaniel, followed by Lady. We got, what is her name? She is the Decisive Dog.
Yep,
I want to say Lady.
Yep, so we got 4 copies of Decisive Dog, 2 Elegant Spaniels, and 4 of the Park Avenues in the deck.
And
all right, so
you're all dogged up and nowhere to go as you're still trying to continue to make these super aggressive lines right now, seeing that Jonathan Lamb has not resolved a 1-cost character, so you might be leaning on this Iago next turn. If you can find a Delamoon's Lullaby, that would be pretty much a Delamoon's Lullaby for this game, I would say, as you rock Lamb to sleep if that would happen.
Just another turn of doing nothing for Jonathan here would be just a bit too slow, I think.
So with that outcome, would you even consider sending this Iago? Maybe you send him down to the Inkwell just because that is just such a problematic play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Dylan would keep a card like Della's Moon Lullaby in your opening hand. You need a bit more of a proactive game plan rather than just sitting there waiting for the Iago. So I think we might see the Iago come down, and then we might see the Cheshire Cat the following turn. But this is where, if you could play a Cheshire Cat and like an Octopus Guard or a Rafiki or a Basil or something like that, that would really put the brakes on what Dylan's trying to do.
Yeah, Lamb not taking no chances, take no chances, make no mistake, playing it very clean, a little low down tempo Cheshire Cat, but still, like you said, he is a competent and capable challenger, and also being able to use his unique ability to clear some of these ready characters is an absolute vibe. Just stopping the questing is what Lamb needs to do. We still have the Into the Unknown in hand, which is scary. But the Chromacon, ouch,
devastating.
Now it gets weird.
And I mean, let's be honest, JDZ. If the Cheshire Cat had a 4 instead of a 3 up the top left corner, people are still going to be putting that card in their
100%. It's not changing anything.
Insane card. So if you play it as your turn 4 play, you are not feeling too bad about that.
And just like I mentioned about Tramp in the previous round, this Cheshire Cat is one of those cards like, hey, let's dial it back a little bit. I think it's a bit too much. It's too
All
good.
right, and we've got an Octopus Guard going into hand there for Jonathan. So
the questing,
just a single Daisy quest. I think challenging him with the cat here and boosting is a bit on the slow side, but yeah, Jonathan's really in a vice now. This Emerald Chromicon, the Brainbuster, as we've been calling it all weekend, is putting in some work here.
There is a world, I guess. You could potentially Into the Unknown this Daisy Duck with the Cheshire Cat and go for the Elsa play and take down one of those ladies potentially.
I like what you're thinking here.
Just to get something moving, and then the bounce back on the Chromicon. Just clearing these characters off the board to break up those tramp plays, I think, is just at the utmost importance level. Demona in hand is another powerful exert ability. So Jonathan Lamb is going to have to put on a clinic on how to negotiate Chromicon tactics. Genie is going to be the play.
Genie, interesting. So happy to take this one a little bit slow here from Jonathan.
Well, down tempo, Genie. Draw your card before play your card. Inking the Sail the Azurite Sea.
All right, so just getting some bodies on the board here from Jonathan, and maybe hoping for a Into the Unknown. There we go. I think you have to do something. You can't let that Daisy Duck keep questing.
And I don't hate that play either. Now you have some capable challengers set up for the next
questing
turn.
Power as well. You know, you got to at some point you need to start questing and win the game. So you want to apply some pressure when you can here. And Jonathan just has the read. He's not in too much trouble. Like Dylan's presenting. If he has a tramp here, maybe 3 to 5 lore, depending on which tramp it is. But he's not in the danger zone yet, so he's developing his questers now, and then he'll play the challenging later.
Absolutely. Checking the lore, we did get a Daisy Duck questing 2 times, I believe, so we should have 4 there.
Lore.
I'm not certain we had a little disconnect there, but I believe it's reading a 4 on the screen, but it's just not translating onto the stream overlay. So we do apologize for that. We're going to try to get that updated as soon as we can. So everything is accurate. It's just not being depicted correctly on the screen. So thank you guys for noticing that and staying locked in. But we're going to get that refreshed for you guys in just a moment. Everything is accurate, but continue to keep that lore scorekeeping at home to help us out a little bit. We would appreciate that.
And I think we do see the big tramp in hand here for Dylan. So,
and there it is. It's being deployed, but Tramp being able to only cycle 2 cards.
That doesn't feel too good here for Dylan. So they're just going to continue their plan of assembling a wide board, and then at some point they're going to hit the accelerator and start questing. And they're also now representing Under the Sea, so that's something that Jonathan has to be aware of.
Very true. Great point. And this lady is actually going to be a competent challenger. It appears we might be going on a challenge. No, we're questing.
No fear here from Dylan.
Yeah, there it is. And the lore is now accurate, getting all the way up to 7 after that lady has that 3 lore and the Elegant Spaniel now has 2. So that's 5. Is that correct? I believe so. So, yeah, 7 now should be the lore total.
Is there ever a world where we're going to see Demona here, do you think, to try and clean up this tramp? We could play the Elsa, but I feel like Dylan's got 2 cards in hand, so I don't think Demona's going to get any better for the rest of the game. I feel like this turn you either have to ink it or you have to play it. Otherwise,
I don't think we're going to see a better opportunity to kind of hedge against a potential Under the Sea. Or maybe you could even get like some Chromacon tactics. Maybe is there a world you ever put this tramp back into your own hand and save it for a rainy day? That's terrible. Maybe. I don't know if that's correct or not. If you take out these Elegant Spaniel and the Decisive Dog, perhaps, as Jonathan Lamb now is gearing up for a challenge. We'll take the bait.
There's a challenge. We're probably going to bounce the Genie here. And then we have a second challenge coming through from the Octopus Guard here.
We can. Now Octopus Guard strength is a 2/2, so we can go ahead and take out the Elegant Spaniel.
I like this line a lot from Jonathan. Are we going to see, bounce on the cat. It makes sense. And we may see cat into cat here.
Double cat tactics.
Double cat, DC as they call it.
The old DC, man. I can't believe it. You DC, you dirty dog with the double DC. You hate to see it. The double cat tactics seems kind of cruel, but we have triple cat
and one
tactics.
into the inkwell. Triple cat tactics. Oof. If we see 3 of those on the board, it is just going to be disgusting.
And now we have set ourselves up for a nice Elsa Fifth Spirit as well to be able to exert this tramp, and then double cat into tramp seems like an absolute vibe. Also, while questing with this Royal Guard, so now Dylan is going to need to have some momentum here as Lamb is negotiating this Amethyst Chromacon quite effectively. Emerald Chromacon, sorry.
And we got in the chat, cats versus dogs. That is
that's so good.
That is quite correct.
That's so
quite correct about what's going on right here.
Cats versus dogs. I missed it. And the little octopus in the middle for good measure there.
So, Dylan's really, this extra ink that they were given from that Into the Unknown, he's really been leveraging it effectively here. So we've got a couple of ladies coming back to hand. Are we going to see them continue to ink up and go to 6 ink here?
I don't mind it because you have to still continue to play around the possibility of a Demona Scourge of the Wyvern Clan. Like, you want to always try to keep yourself in a situation to where you can get some of those resources back. Champ is challenging, taking down that octopus, which also works nicely into...
We just saw a let it go off the top. That is a spicy meatball right there. And so we could see a double challenge... And just see a hard cast, let it go on the big lady. And then, Dylan's hand is looking quite depleted at that point.
And you have that, you can send the lady down into the inkwell. The shifted lady will give, you will give a double inking there.
No, he just hard casted that one last time. He played it for 5.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Yep. Oh, that's not shifted. Never
mind.
No,
it's not shifted. So that's just a single ink on
that's
that
right.
One. Yep.
So, just sending that down into the inkwell is not even that bad, going 1 for 1, clearing that threat off the board. But these Cheshire Cats can, is there a world where you boost the Cheshire? No, you can't do that to gain that card. It's not even worth it. I think just keeping your ink available to maybe send. Is there? Oh, man, this is tough.
Yeah,
dude.
it is tough because if you go down, you play to let it go, you do the double challenge onto the tramp, they bounce one of your cats, then you can still ink and boost some of the damage across to that lady that we've got still on the board. And yeah, remember, Dylan can only bounce one character here, so if we see the double challenge come in, they can bounce one of the cats, but they cannot bounce both of them.
And there it is. Let it go. It's going to go down into the lady. There is the boost.
There's the boost.
Put it onto what a line. I like that play. And now we bounce. And that's a great turn.
Yeah, Jonathan
that line
really thinking through their turn there, and that was...
I would have missed that one.
Yeah, I think I would have double challenged there. I think I would have goofed that one up. So.
All right, we have someone who called it. That was cool lining. I love that play.
Boost cat play.
I was like
with both.
Like a little a lore puzzle there, and trying to figure out the most optimal way to do that.
Another lady coming through.
And you get back the Ursula and the Elegant Spaniel again, and you still have an allotment of ink available to kind of deploy more of these characters. So Dylan is trying to make a great rebuttal after a clean turn. Jonathan just played. Boom. Bobby, are
we going to pitch this Elsa, or do we... I think at this point you'd assume that Jonathan has exhausted all their removal songs, but again, it might be good just to take a look at the hand here and see what's going on.
And is that Elegant, that lady of Park Avenue is dry. I think there might be a world where you just slam into the Cheshire Cat just to get him out of the equation. I think it might be worth it, even though...
No, I think that just came down again. Was that...
No, it shifted. It shifted onto the other one. That one is shifted
right
now.
You are. Yeah, it is dry.
Yeah, so you can challenge into that Cheshire Cat. There might be some value there, just getting that off the board, and there you go.
And yeah, I'm loving all the cats versus dogs hype we got in the chat here.
And who's going to come out on top? And the dogs right now seem as they are winning. And it looks like you have your own octopus, as Ursula is going to be there between all these dogs.
All right, so, that Hades was a great draw, though.
Dogs, cats, and octopus. Who wins?
I think you just windmill slam this Hades off the top.
Get it down there. Or you could also send the Elsa in, exert, and take down the lady. If they bounce, so be it. You just get it back to the hand, and then now you got another Elsa that you can deploy again on a follow-on turn.
But then, geez, that go-go on the crackback is... No, we are going for this line.
I don't hate this. I mean, this seems
I like
okay.
it too.
And just keeping your opponent's board carefully curated, well-maintained, exerting the Bobby Zimmerowski, and clearing the lady. Are you going to bounce?
So this is here. You've sort of got two pieces of... and ink and cat, this is a great turn for Jonathan.
Yeah.
You've sort of got two pieces of like a pseudo removal with the Elsa and the Hades, and you can choose which one to deploy, and it's important to think these things through. Because a lot of people, like I just said, I windmill slam that Hades, but no, this seems much better because you've got the leftover ink to play the cat, you've got the Elsa back in your hand, so you can use the exert ability on a following turn. So yeah, you that's one of the things that's important with this Blurple deck, knowing which piece of removal to use at the correct time.
At the right time, exactly. And I would ask in the chat, are you guys team cat or team dog right now? It looks like dogs.
I'm team cat myself. Yeah, I'm a bit biased here, but
it looks like dogs are kind of taking charge.
Yeah.
Getting a little bit of lore again. You're at 10 now, and Lamb is kind of running low on resources. You can start to challenge in now, but is there a world where you take a turn off and boost before challenge? I don't hate this at all. You're able to take down a character, and if you are going to bounce with the Cheshire Cat, you're going to get a little bit of punish there.
So we might see... Will we ever see a bounce on one of Dylan's exerted characters here, just so they can redeploy it the following turn?
We elected to not bounce, it seems, or maybe still thinking about it.
I think they're still thinking about it because, it's a very important decision here. You know we still got that Elsa in hand. I think we do, so...
And we are going to go ahead and bounce that
back
to the hand. We got to get Lamb to clean
and
up that ink well.
And there's your boy, Tipo Growing Sun into the hand from the cat. You love to see it.
I need to get that ink. Let's clean that ink well up if we can. Let's get those cards a bit more, a bit organized over there.
Team Cat showing up in the chat here, and the Gene. He's been very patient with this Hades. Again,
another card.
I just windmill slammed that bad boy like 5 turns ago before I even drew it.
And the cat.
Yep, the cat is back. Cat's out the bag once again. Team Cat, we are still fighting hard out here.
And I think you're just trying to get to the point where you can just out-resource. I mean, it's kind of hard with these ladies being able to refill for 2 more cards every time.
The second Elegant Spaniel was, and now we've got the quest for 3 coming in.
4.
For 1.
5, 6.
Count them. 16 lore here for Dylan. So, Jonathan, even after being on the play this game and having that cat into singing Into the Unknown, which felt like a decent opener, just missing that one-turn play, the turn 1, just setting back so far in tempo here. And this Emerald Chromicon just, again, it's been here all weekend doing work and causing absolute havoc on the opposing side.
I will agree. This is a tough spot. This is for sure not the ideal condition. Sitting at 16 lore, I think you have a lot of different threats on the board. That lady being, I guess you could have cleared that lady that last turn as well. You got a little punished when you went after that Bobby Zimmerowski, trying to set yourself up for some damage on your character or whatnot. But getting a little bit punished there because that 3 lore, you probably could have resisted that instead of going for that other challenge that you did. But I think
Dylan's kept that one card. He's always had a card in hand. He's never just run out his full hand. So I don't know whether he's showing go-go here and just trying to deter certain play patterns from their opponent. But Dylan's been very, very patient with that card.
Yeah, I think he might be forced into a Quest Genie Challenge Cheshire Cat approach, as we will Junior Woodchuck guidebook.
The slow approach here, looking for probably some sort of.
I think
Let It Go. That might have been the card that they were looking for. But they still have to pay
you can't
for
sing
it.
it. Yeah, you can't sing it. You have to challenge. Well, I think Quest and Genie maybe.
So we're gonna see. Yep, Jonathan just thinking this one through, taking his time. I like it. But Dylan's definitely in the driver's seat here, and just that early questing with the Daisy Duck really paying off now. The difference between being on 14 and being on 16 here is enormous.
Interesting on the challenge into the Lady Bounce Genie. Maybe you're looking for another card draw, potentially as the Infernal Schemer deploys, and that is going to be that 7 ink played, keeping yourself around for at least another turn. Go-Go Tamago is not in play yet, and that is an under the sea. That's not doing anything. That's not the one you want. Okay,
maybe that's the card that. No, I think that was off the top, but.
I mean,
that does absolutely nothing in this position.
You definitely don't want to see that one. You would love to see literally any other card.
Literally any other card in the deck would be better right now.
And you do, is that the Go-Go Tamago there as well? I can't tell what that other card is that's next to. That is next. It looks like that is a Go-Go in hand, though. So that is imminent threat, to say the least. But that Under the Sea is repulsive. Let It Go is going to be in the hand of Jonathan Lamb. We have 2 characters that both can fall to a double challenge, but you have this Cheshire Cat, which plays very nicely into a Go-Go Tamago. So maybe there's a world where you challenge and then move the damage off and then challenge again like that, keeping the damage somewhat low. Or you might have to Elsa or something, take one down, and maybe you can keep that cat around. You have to play a really, really weird game from the rest of the turn.
Very, very hard to remove the threats from Dylan for every turn for the rest of the game without accruing damage counters. But the cat sort of counters that, because every time you get a damage counter on your character, you can move it to another character. So that could be very relevant here.
And Jonathan Lamb sitting at 1, no lore. You're at 0 right now. Your opponent's sitting at 18.
Very tough spot to be in.
That's not the advantageous position to be, as Ursula will fall. Tramp bounce self bounce Tramp.
So I like this from Dylan, just trying to get cards in hand that you can deploy non-exerted, and then forcing Jonathan to have answers like Let It Go and Elsa to deal with them.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to boost that Cheshire Cat off unless you can't.
No, you can only move it to opposing characters. Yep.
As Lamb is trying to go as wide as humanly possible while questing, maybe you can put yourself in a situation where you can probably put a 2-turn clock on to Dylan, and you can get to an 8 ink play here and just hard play the Under the Sea, gain that lore from Go-Go.
Yep, so we're up to 19.
Do you have another one? Are we double Go-Go gaming?
Double Go-Go gaming?
It's
GGGGs.
And it's Tramp to
so
charge
now
Lilo.
Jonathan needs an answer to 3 ready characters here. That is a pretty tall order. So there was a Let It Go in hand, so that's 1. But we're going to need We're going to need an
We do
Elsa.
have
We're going
Elsa.
to need to do some damage counter shenanigans. I don't know how he's
So
going to do this.
we do have Let It Go and Elsa. So you do.
There's a Hades off
and
the
you have
top?
Cheshire Cat. So you can't clear this board. You have.
No, I've only got one damage counter to move, though.
But the Elsa will be deployed.
True.
So you can go Elsa, take down the Go-Go, send 2 onto someone else, sing Let It Go, and you get another turn. But that Under the Sea, manual Under the Sea could be actually
it's
quite
actually
good.
on the cards here. If we draw something, we can Under the Sea. We got 2 genies. We got a Basil. We might get an Elsa coming out here. So
there
that's a
and there
giga
is
Under the Sea
a
value.
Hades the Infernal Schemer in hand as well.
Yep.
So I think Hades, you go
Yeah,
Elsa.
we can do one Hades. We can sing the song, and we can also play the Elsa. So
And I really do like Hades as a follow-up, as we are going to go ahead and Let It Go, going after probably that Tramp, I
think
would
so,
say.
the
Or maybe
3
that
willpower.
Lilo. Maybe that Lilo is also
because
on
that's
the
the one
table.
you can bring it back. Yeah,
For sure.
so
Get that
that's
Lilo out
kinda
of here.
Frustrating.
But you are kind of self-fulfilling your own prophecy here, as they just a straight-up slam Under the Sea off the I've never seen that, by the way. I've never seen
a dogs player just get ramped up to 8. Just, you know what? Hardcast Under the Sea. Let's go.
I've never seen it, and it could very well happen. But under the Let It Go being deployed, you can probably send that Lilo. Just get
Yeah,
that
I think
problematic
Lilo makes the most
loop
sense here.
broken up. You can then maybe go for the
Elsa
Elsa
the
Go-Go.
evasive threat.
Interesting. So that probably means you're not going to go for the Elsa play here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, when your opponent's on 19, at least you don't have to worry about damage counter management anymore, because the difference between getting 1 or 2 or 3 lore from the Go-Go is no longer relevant.
And I still think you need to have a way to get this Tramp off the board. I mean, I would have honestly loved to have seen the Elsa into the Go-Go Cheshire Cat boost, and I don't know if that would that even work, because the Tramp is still there at a 1/3. How are we getting that Tramp off the board?
Well, if we have we need to play Elsa and Hades. So if we exert the Tramp with the Elsa, and then we can maybe send the Cheshire Cat in.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, and then you take down.
How much ink do we have left? We got 6, and I don't think we've inked for turn. So
And the Elsa will, because you have to also consider the Chromacon there on this challenge as well.
yes, absolutely you do.
And you get the
Yep,
cat.
challenge him with the cat, so you get the second damage counter on the cat. And
But
that
it can
kind of
bounce the
forces
cat.
them to bounce the cat.
But if you do bounce the cat, you can redeploy the cat and still be able to use the ability, but you have no damage.
No, but then you ink the cat and you play the big Hades.
That's very true.
Yep.
Okay.
But then you just Jonathan's going to need to draw answer after answer for the rest of the game.
that was a cool play.
Yeah.
My brain is hurting, bro.
He took his time, he thought it through, and he came up with the right line.
Yeah.
But I think we might see the hardcast Under the Sea here.
I think my line was messed up too, because the Chromacon is available, and if you go challenge in,
your
then it's going to
brain
throw.
is just broken right now. Oh,
There
and
it is.
there it is.
Wow,
Under the Sea.
that is a first,
That was
folks.
huge. And
you
oh,
still
the
have
grandmother
ink
Willow.
To put another game threat in play.
And Jonathan's digging here, looking for. Have we got anything?
Tipo Demona.
Oh, let's get dangerous.
We're struggling here.
Yeah,
the struggle
that
is real.
Not where you want to be.
Not at all. Drawing 3.
Especially when the dogs player is up to 10 ink. They're just going to be able to slam all their characters.
And
what do
Hades
you
looking
do with
for a
this
deal.
Willow? And he throws up the deuces.
We do get into the unknown, and we are going to go ahead and take it down. No, we're singing the into the unknown, and Hades is going to quest. So you just want to keep your board around. So we're still fighting here, trapped at 19.
Yeah,
no
I think-
damage for a Go-Go.
I think the Into the Unknown sing, they're probably just trying to play around the Go-Go. You do not want to put
For
any
sure.
damage
And you don't want to.
counters on
You want to keep your
characters.
board around.
Yep.
As we do have another Demona is going to come on through. But look at this.
Dylan
wow,
is
what a
just
turn.
sending it right here.
What a turn.
So now instead of dealing with one ready character, now Jonathan's going to need another Demona.
I think he has it
Send
in
some
hand as
challenges
well.
in.
We have
Oh.
Elsa and Demona. The Inkwell is starting to feel quite nicely as we are
Look at
stacking that
that
ink.
Inkwell. Jeepers.
I mean, is there a world we slam the Demona here, or we have that Elsa,
I think you have to demote. It's the only thing that exerts 4 characters. So,
but
like,
then the Chromacon, the
oh,
mathematics
the
is off.
Chromacon. Yeah, you're right. It's broken my brain
Yeah,
too.
the
Here.
math is
Ooh,
just
yo, yo,
ain't
yo, yo.
mathing, man. The math ain't even mathing. But you have to get to the world where you get up to that 13 ink threshold to where you can Hades into, like, if they bounce the Hades.
Demona, bounce the Hades play.
Yeah.
I think Dylan might have this one all locked up, but Jonathan taking their time,
Yeah.
trying to figure out if there's any lines to get them out of here. But yeah, so if we make 2 challenges, they could bounce 2 ready characters, and yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
And he's just doing a little bit of that Chromacon math right now. And this is just extra advantage that Dylan has because you can just sit back and just harness and recover, breathe. Your brain is fine where your opponent is just in a conundrum.
Yep.
And as soon as they figure out this puzzle, you just slam some more guys.
3 or 4 more characters, and then it's like, well, I hope you can do it again.
Yeah, you like that puzzle? Well, guess what? I got another one for you, pal. And you slam another one and just do it again every single turn. And that is just the problem of Emerald Chromacon.
Yep.
It is there.
And you can just see the little hamster running at full speed around the brain of Jonathan here. This is just not where you want to be.
That's been another card that has absolutely overperformed this tournament. The Emerald Chromacon.
Oh, yeah, we've seen every game it's come down. It's had a huge impact. It's completely flipped the script.
And we are really selling that we have the Demona in hand. So that's pretty much a foregone conclusion. You kind of want to think about your line before you take them. I believe it might just be absolutely Jover, but you're trying to just play and hope for the best. Bounce.
So if we can, I think we got to get this Royal Guard out of our hand, and then we play the Demona, and we can also play the Elsa. The exert effect isn't really relevant, but the rush might be good here. So, yeah, gosh, this. Ugh.
Yeah, it's 19. Yep. I mean, you have to take out all of these characters every single time as Lamb is deep into the thought vault. Man, the brain has got to be moving at 100 miles a minute here. We're at 19. I think you cannot clear all 4 of these characters. There is no time. We got best of 5, and there he is. The Royal Guard comes through.
And now we're going to see the Elsa. We're going to see the Demona. I think we need to play the Demona at some point.
Yeah, Demona is down.
Makes sense.
So that is going to be 6 ink.
The cards that Jonathan probably wants here is, some more removal songs into the unknown, let it go, and then we can sing some of the Hades. That could be useful.
Sail the Azurite Sea are going to be the cards. So I think you have enough ink to deploy the Hades, the Infernal.
I think we might be one short.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can play the Hades. You did already ink for turn. The Dumbo Ninth Wonder of the Universe is down in the Inkwell. So now you have to start getting to the challenging as the Demona is gearing up for a challenge.
I think on the Daisy Duck, probably.
Going into the Daisy. Chromacon Triggers.
So I think Jonathan probably bounces maybe the Hades here, looking for a deal.
There he is. Hades goes.
Sense. And then what is the follow-up here? Are we going to see one of these Hades challenge?
Hades challenge
and
into.
We probably just bounce the other Hades. They can pay 7 to jam a Hades, but then they are out of stuff. They are one. Well,
so we are selling the Azurite Sea, trying to draw one. It's another Demona.
Another Demona. Now we're going to see this whole song and dance again next turn.
And there it is. Bounces the Hades. So you still have another ink opportunity. Elsa, take out the Elegant Spaniel.
And that one's a wrap.
And that will get it done as one card off the top is going to be that Hades the Infernal Schemer. And what a game as Dylan takes game number 1 with the Dogs. Really all on the back of that Emerald Chromacon. Really showing how powerful it can be.
That was, when you see that as the Blurple player, it's SpaghettiOs time. You know?
And looking at that relief coming in on Dylan's face there, this is game number 1, pal. You got to lock back in. You got at least maybe at least 2 more of those going.
After that Chromacon just exploded your brain, you got to refocus for the following game. And I think what's really important, you got to find one of these one-cost characters to play on turn 1.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Yeah,
start
that
for
was
Lamb. You see,
like
if you have
just-
that was a slow start from the Sapphire Amethyst player. No one-cost character. You had a lot of sales, and that Chromacon came down right on time, and it completely knocked you out of the park. You hate to see it, but now we're going into that game number 2. This is a best of 5, so you will have the opportunity to get some better lines of play, hopefully for yourself if you are Lamb. But if I'm Dylan, if I can do that every single time and punch my ticket to the Disney Lorcana Challenge World Championship, you sign me up. I'll take that every single time.
Yeah, I think Dylan probably feeling fantastic about the deck choice here too today playing dogs, because like we saw in the meta breakdown on day 1 and day 2, there was 30% roughly of this Blurple players, and yeah, I think this dogs deck just has a really, really favorable matchup.
And let's not forget, I mean, there was a turn where you had to manually play a Under the Sea in the dogs deck to get crafty enough, and if you didn't do that, you lose the game because there was a lot of 2 strength characters that went underneath that deck.
That's one of the things when you're playing 4 copies of Let It Go, 4 Into the Unknown, 4 Hades. Ramping your opponent is not free. You are like gearing them up to do these sorts of turns. So, and that just completely. Yeah, like Jonathan had, I think he lost 2 Genies, he lost a Basil, there might have even been an Elsa in there, so that is just a huge swing turn for the dogs player.
And that's kind of where you lost that game right in place. So, again, I don't want to take away, I don't want to say, oh, you got lucky, oh, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. It does require you to demonstrate your skill, and you have to show it, and both of these Luminaires, especially Dylan, I'm very impressed with his prowess here and what he's been doing in these last 2 feature match rounds that we've seen. He's been playing well above his weight class, I would say, as Jonathan Lamb now is going to have to be on the back foot. You were on the play. You've lost your initiative here, and you're going to have to try to gain that back quickly by rattling off 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, and just like these 4-cost uninkable Genies in this matchup, every time they get bounced back to your hand, it's like, how am I going to find the time to replay this card? It's just so slow. So, yeah, the dogs player, just with that Chromacon, being able to put these uninkable slow cards back in the hand is really punishing for this Blurple deck.
Oh, for sure. I'm looking at Wasabi. Okay, I'm looking at Wasabi over there in my bulk pile. I got those nice, beautiful Hobby League promos that we have of Wasabi, those foil ones, and I'm staring at them. Okay, I'm like, you look cool. I like your outfit. I like your pose you have there. Maybe you might have found your way back into this deck, huh? I think there's Emerald, and we've been talking about these items. So you gotta have something for them. I think it's just too much.
Yeah.
It's too much, man.
But I hope my girlfriend's not watching right now. She played Wasabi in her Blurple deck yesterday. She said she drew him every game, and she didn't pair into a single dogs matchup. So
I mean, he is inkable.
He
Toss
is
him in
inkable.
single and keep it moving.
It's not the card you really want to play on turn 4 or on your 4-ink turn into most decks. So
I just feel just where we are right now, and we do have a 1-cost character.
And
Go
we
goes
got the
down.
Daisy Duck coming down.
And you do have Tipo and sell the Azurite Sea. So this is a critical decision point. Do we develop the Tipo, or do we play sell the Azurite Sea to kind of keep our hand around?
I think we might see the Tipo come out here just so we can. The 2 willpower may be relevant for the Cheshire Cat later.
Possibly. But we do have that Basil we can support, but it can't really engage with this Daisy Duck.
This Daisy Duck, if we're making a ban list, JDZ, we got the Chromacon on there, we got the Tipo on there. You know what the number 3 target is?
Daisy Duck. This Daisy, ever since she dropped in Shimmering Skies, she has been one of the most polarizing cards that has ever been printed. Again, I love broken cards. I love very powerful cards. Daisy Duck is that. It's another one. Let's dial it back a little bit. I think. Let's bring it on back a little bit. I think that's.
I'm not sure we're going to see another 1-4-2 quest to post rotation post the next one. So we'll see what happens.
When this next rotation happens, we're losing some real all stars. Daisy Duck, Dog the Bold Knight, Clarabelle, some Genie Wish for Field. We got some hits that are getting removed from this game, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to it.
Me too.
To see what the new world is going to look like post rotation.
JDZ, don't lie to us. You just want to get Tipo out of here.
You're right. You read right through my lies, dude. Tipo's got to go. Sales got to go. The game is going to change, and I am super excited for that. But we'll always have Infinity to kind of look back on some of these very powerful cards, as Bobby Zimmerowski is going to be another card that is going to be around for a while.
And Jonathan does not want to see that. If the Emerald Chromacon is the worst card in Dylan's hand right now, that is not what you want to see.
And we send one off because we do have another one.
The second copy. That you just know if they put one in the yard, that means there's another one coming down, almost certainly.
And you're going to have to play that Chromacon mathematics game over and over and over again. And it's just so mentally taxing to just deal with that and make sure the lines that you have are tight and able to avoid losing the game on the spot. Because you quest or challenge in the wrong order, you're done.
And I don't even think, I don't even know if Jonathan can quest here. We might see a quest for the Tipo coming out, but just, you don't want to, you got to play around the tramp. You got to be worried about the chrome. There's just so many things that you have to worry about when you're playing against this dog's deck.
And just the fear of that tramp, that 2-cost tramp, that tramp enterprising dog, or the tramp, what's his name? Tramp, enterprising dog is the guy you just have to worry about. Just completely, it's a solid card.
It's a very, very good card.
It's such a good synergistic card with this deck, and it does a lot. Turn that Daisy Duck into an absolute battering ram.
Yeah, the 1/4 body when you then pump that with the tramp. And here we're seeing another Nani into the Inkwell, so this is one of the all-star cards of the deck, particularly in this new set. But Dylan's just played this matchup clearly many times and knows if they're able to establish that Chromicon, just keep getting cheap characters down, and then at some point just start questing, then you don't even need the extra value of the Nani with the card draw. You've got enough gas. You just need to play as many cheap things as you can and just start questing ASAP.
Oh, for sure. And I really also love, you could tell Dylan is kind of playing one turn ahead. Like, okay, on your 5 ink turn, there's a very good chance that Elsa the Fifth Spirit is going to come on through. When Elsa comes through, what am I going to do? Maybe I can have this Chromacon to be able to send some of my opponent's characters back to the hand. So that's a really cool little call and response. Lamb is not going to do that. We're going to just do a different thing now, so you don't play into what your opponent thinks you're going to do. And we're going to take a time off to develop a heavy questing character into the form of Genie, Wish for Field, who'll be able to start questing. And maybe you can assume this aggressive role.
Yeah,
Big Tramp coming in next turn.
I think that's what Jonathan might be considering a quest here on the Basil, because he might just say, what happened last game didn't work. I got to do something different here. So maybe I got to try and get ahead in the lore race and make them challenge into me, because when you're playing the challenge game, when they've got the Chromicon on the board, you're really playing the game that they want to play. So, we may just see some questing going on here.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate it at all. But still, maybe giving up value might not be the way to go. Basil can have a higher impact if you do keep him around. Say, for instance, if Lamb believes that Dylan, who both of these players, I think, are for sure playing at least one turn ahead, maybe 2 turns ahead. What are you going to do? And what am I going to do if you do your best thing? Like, if you set up a tramp, or if you set up a big tramp on me, how am I going to respond to that? Well, I got this Basil. I can give him strength to, say, the Dumbo or something, and take down the tramp and get some stuff bounced back to my hand. That's not the worst thing. Whereas Lilo.
I didn't see that go into the discard pile earlier, but Dylan's going to love that.
For sure. So now Lilo Escape Artist has
had the 2 Bobbies. One of the Bobbies getting the second copy of the Chromicon out of hand. The other Bobby getting the Lilo. And Jonathan, that same thing happened the previous game as well.
Yeah, Dylan is kind of Dylan's kind of cooking,
goodness. Man. Look at this wide board we've got.
And that's Dylan's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters in play. We have that Grandmother Willow now with Lilo and Chromacon. So you have this very obnoxious loop has been established, and this is a lock. I mean, this is hard to get out of this one. Without Wasabi, without a way to break up this thing, maybe you can get after that Grandmother Willow to kind of break the jutsu a little bit, but that is just a very, very troubling, problematic play, and that's that 7-cost tramp. You've seen one go into the Inkwell. You can almost guarantee that's what that is coming your way as well. So Lamb is in a conundrum here.
Yeah, one of the other things that's really tricky with this Chromicon, basically every challenge you make, they can bounce another character. So unless you've got twice as many characters as them on the board, you can't just keep challenging and getting bounced and challenging and getting bounced, because you just don't have enough bodies. So Yeah, Dylan with 6 characters on the board to Jonathan's 4. If you think of that 4, it's really only kind of 2 characters on the board because the other 2 are just going to get sent back to hand and they're not going to be able to get active this turn.
Yeah, this is just looking like a problem. Like I do not admire this position for Jonathan Lamb at all. I think this is just problematic, and even if you start challenging, like you have to deal with Chromacon too. Even I'll take a retro sphere or something. Give me something that can deal with this 3-cost uninkable item because it's just making this game. Even if the Chromacon didn't exist, this position seems daunting as well. But that Chromacon just takes it to the next level.
Yeah, I think without the Chromacon though, you've got great challenges going on here. You quest the Basil, you pump the Genie, you challenge the Daisy, Dumbo challenges, and you start whittling the board down. But you can only do that at about half the rate with the Chromacon just because it's just slowing your progress down so much.
Maybe we might have to. Maybe there also is some tech. We talked about this earlier. That snowman, not this. What's his name? The
marshmallow.
The marshmallow.
Yeah.
I think we did mention that. I think maybe Sapphire Amethyst could look into that guy as well.
Take, yeah.
And if you don't want to commit to the wasabi, it is uninkable though. So. Just by that nature, it's going to be a bit riskier to include that into your deck. But the marshmallow, maybe you get it to the point where none of these characters can ready, and you could just, quest freely there. Only one character can ready. I believe that's what that marshmallow does.
That's correct.
So I wouldn't hate that, as now the Chromacon is beginning to trigger. The board did get reduced a little bit.
Yeah, but still 4 characters. We've got, how much lore have we got on that side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lore for Dylan, questing up to 10 the next turn. So... yeah, every time this Chromacon comes down, Jonathan just knows it's bad news.
Yeah, and it's hard to beat this. It really is, especially if you in an open deckless situation. You're at the grand final table. You are down Omega right now, and you just don't have the tools in your deck to be able to circumnavigate this.
Jonathan had the curve too. We saw Basil into Tipo, into Dumbo, and then a Gene. Like, Jonathan didn't miss the 1 drop this game, but it hasn't even mattered. It just feels like this dog's deck in the hands of a competent pilot like Dylan that we're seeing here is just absolutely cooking Blurple at the moment.
And you do kind of break up a little bit of that genjutsu a little bit as the Grandmother Willow will fall there. But Lilo now is able to ready and freely quest for 2. That's 5 lore.
That's painful.
Check that. It could be 6 lore if we develop this tramp. And there he is. So Elegant Smale now her full quest value of 2. That's 6. Getting up to 10. Yuck is the name of the game.
Took the words right out of my mouth. And we got the Nani in hand here by the looks. So, yeah, if Dylan's board starts getting whittled down and he's a bit low on value, we've got that Nani for some refill. And particularly that Nani can make really nice use if you're getting ramped up by the Blurple player. If we see a card like Hades or Let It Go or Into the Unknown on the next turn, then you can use that additional ink, play the Nani, and still have maybe 1 or 2 ink left and play whatever you draw off it. So,
and that is a Dylan showing some discipline there, electing not to quest that Daisy Duck, but going after that Basil. Yeah, Basil can make things a bit weird for your tramp Elsa plays to kind of clear the street smart dog, I would say. So that's a huge threat you have now in play. Getting up to 7 ink, I guess you could go with this Hades, the Infernal Schemer, to send that big boy down into the inkwell. And there he goes.
Do it, but yeah, now this Tipo is just not all the Tipo's doing is holding 1 damage counter for the potential go-go here. So it is not looking. It's going to do some heavy lifting here. He's got some growing to do if he's going to win the game.
I mean, his sheer presence is still triggering.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we can just at least there's a bit of light reflecting off the Tipo to obscure the image. I think they've probably put that there especially for you,
I
JD.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thanks to the production for that one.
Seeing that growing sun there, but he's still holding it down and not questing. Maybe quest that Tipo, huh? Just get a little bit of lore in with this guy. But that Emerald Chromacon there, it's just a staunch defender, just a staunch part of this board. It is just everything for Dylan right now. And Lamb taking a sip of that water, thinking of how he can get that thing off the board, and you just absolutely can't do it.
Yep, just staring it down for the rest of the game. And that Nani here, this was one of the really nice cards for Dylan to find off that tramp.
And
we see it.
We do see
Go-Go floating around here. I wonder if we're going to see that one kept.
I'd snap it. I really would.
I kind of like it here. And the evasive is kind of useful as well.
Go-Go synergizes super nicely with that Nani as well. So when Nani begins to quest, you can see
if we see a challenge come in, then you don't want to keep those 3 damage counters around.
For sure. That could be
Yeah,
a potential
huge
3
hit
lore. And Hades, one of his biggest weaknesses is the fact that he has that 6 willpower in this matchup. Usually one of his biggest strengths turns into one of his biggest weaknesses because Gogo Tamago with that darting dynamo, with that stop crying and woman up.
Another miss off the Daisy Duck. Just nothing is going Jonathan's way this game. Oi, 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 oi.
That's hard, man.
Yeah, we are in all SpaghettiOs time right now. This is looking rough.
Yeah, this is tough, man. This is tough. So Lamb has been on the play both games and just can't seem to find a path to victory.
Anything going against this Chromicon, it has just got him in a vice.
And this is man. I don't know what the answer is. I'm trying, and Jonathan Lamb has to figure this out. Certainly, he's done the work and has played this matchup, I would assume, countless times.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe that's one of those things. You have to make some concessions in your deck building from time to time. You have to run a risk and hope maybe I'll just dodge and hope for better days on the other side, and you just have to deal with it. And this is you dealing with it here at the grand final table, going possibly down 0-2 in all on the play, and you got another game on the play, and you just don't want to go out like that. You got to defend yourself here a little bit.
So what do you think we'll see from the Chromicon? We might see Tipo getting bounced here.
Can't send the Hades. I think Hades has to kind of stay there.
I don't think you want to let them replay that. So
I mean, that could be the game if we don't do something. We send the Hades.
Hold the phone.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that Go-Go, you could just slam that Nani in for 3 damage, and then quest, send the Go-Go in. I can't do math. What is that? That's 6 plus. What do we? I don't know. I don't know about that one.
2 on the Lilo and 1 on the rest of the characters. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the board represented.
Yeah. Maybe you're just trying to go that way with it and just try to win it in time. But this Hades the Inferno Schemer can get reactivated and potentially send one of your characters down to the Inkwell.
Yeah, and that Lilo's looking pretty good to send down to the Inkwell here. But yeah, I think Dylan just sitting pretty with that Go-Go in hand. Jonathan knows about it, so they're going to try and play around it. And they do have the Cheshire Cat in hand, so
very true.
On a future turn, we could see something like deploy the Cheshire Cat, boost that 1 damage off the Tipo, and then send him in to challenge one of these smaller 1-2 characters, and then that will deal with them. So that was another potential line there, but I like Hadesing that Lilo. You can't let them just keep recurring that Lilo or the game is over.
Yeah, so this is a tough spot. So that bounce Hades, I believe you are correct. Maybe that's what they were thinking about, the Cheshire Cat approach to finesse the Go-Go. So Dylan thinking about all options and trying his best not to find yourself in a compromised position while maintaining enough questing power to potentially get some value out of this Go-Go Tamago. We have a card off the top. I can't quite see what that is. We know Go-Go is a known entity at this point. Is that a tramp? It's a tramp. So now Elegant Spaniel questing for 2.
Questing for 2. And then we can also play the Go-Go and get an additional 1 here. So quest up to 17.
I think you hold.
You hold it.
I'm holding.
You know when to hold him, do you, JD?
I hold it.
Oh,
and never mind.
He's slamming it.
Dylan does not agree, and Dylan is at the
Up
final
to
table going double.
I like it. I like just getting more bodies on the board, just making it difficult for the Blurple player here. And in the previous game, we saw Jonathan was up to, 13, 14 ink, so they're able to play like Demona into Hades and try and deal with the board that way just by using the ink advantage. But they're only on about 8 ink here, so they can't do anything really, really wild with their turns.
Oh, this is looking like Dylan is. And I can't stress enough how poised Dylan is looking in this position. He's playing with so much precision.
Yeah,
and it's just putting on a clinic here.
Even
in
the
this
discard
final table.
pile, he's got it so organized with the different he's just cool, calm, and collected here.
Like he's played this many times, and again, that Emerald Chromicon. Maybe you have to find a game if you're Jonathan Lamb and hope your adversary can't get to that Emerald Chromicon in time, because maybe you have a different game there. But this is just, again, you're deep into a thought-provoking experience here. You got the Hades, you got the Royal Guard, and you just can't do it. I mean, there's just too much. There's too many angles that you're being hit from, and you just can't deal with it right now.
But I mean, this one's looking. I don't know what Jonathan's gonna do. At this point, it's looking like we're going to game 3. To be honest, I think that we're gonna have the 2-0 here. So I don't want to call it too early, but I just don't see how Jonathan can ever get out of this one.
But I will say, I mean, DLC in Richmond, we did see a storm off into a 2-0, into a draw, a clap back into a 2-win again to force that all-important game number 5. So it happened there. It could potentially happen here.
Right, yeah.
We are all in on the magic and the story. But right now, I think you got to find something to crack the code. I think Lamb needs to continue to find some new lines because this ain't working.
Yeah,
okay?
I think something like one drop into ramp, into cat one drop. You just got to get some bodies on the board. You need to try and outnumber the dog's deck so when that Chromicon does come down.
Or how about this? I got a great play.
Oh, yeah.
What you can do when Dylan's not paying attention, grab those Chromicons and just eat them.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That
just
is
throw them right into the
play.
gullet. And
Are we
then,
talking take it out of the sleeve or we're just chewing down that
I mean,
whole
whatever
thing?
you got to do, just like, hey, look over there. There's something behind you. It's Brad Pitt. Where?
Wow, what's
Grab
he
him
doing
up
there?
real
It's
quick and
JDG. Look, he's over there.
Oh, wow, okay. And then just and chew them up like, oh, I'm sorry. My bad. And then you play.
Man.
And there you go. I think that's
and Jonathan just scoops. Yeah, jeepers.
I think that's a very viable line. I mean, eat your opponent's card. Thoughts? Let's do that. We get a nice 2-0 victory coming in from Dylan, who again he is playing so well.
Yeah,
I am learning
he's
so much seeing how he's going through this Amber and Emerald dog strategy. And if this is a deck that you're thinking about potentially taking to a set championships or coming to one of your own local tournaments, you might want to really pin this and watch how he's approaching this matchup because a lot of people assume that it's just slam quest and go and win. It ain't the case.
It's not. It's develop your board, back it up with your Chromicon, get your big tramp down, and then that's when you start questing.
For sure.
You need to strike at the right time.
I think that is absolutely correct. This deck is very difficult to use, and I think that is completely something that you might want to pay attention to and understand that when you go to load this strat.
And yeah, the way Dylan's playing, like you said, to borrow a term from chess, the term they use there is accuracy. So you need to play accurately, and when you make a small mistake or when you've got two choices and one seems better than the other, it just feels like Dylan always is taking the correct path in this matchup.
Yeah, I think so. Being in the right spot, and I don't think the judge. If you do, they can't check your mouth. Okay, I don't think they can say, "Hey, open your mouth." You just say, "Hey, I'm I'm going through some dental stuff right now, my teeth, or whatever." So you just have like Chromicon all in your gullet there. I think that's fine. I think that's the play. If I'm John Lamb, I'm trying that one because all bets are off here going into this. You got to fight the sweep. You got to defend yourself, and by any means necessary. I think that means by any means necessary, even if I have to eat my opponent's cards.
Opponent's card. You got to do what you got to do, Jay-Z.
I mean, worst case scenario, you get disqualified, and what are you going to do? At least you try to defend yourself. Because right now, it seems like Dylan has all the initiative, momentum, poise, power. He is just in a very comfortable spot. Even if you do drop a game, you have those two diamonds already
on the play, indeed. And we've got a pretty good hand looking from Jonathan here. We got the Octopus on 1, we got the Tipo on 2, we got Genie and Diago. So we've got a couple of choices here, and we got the Elsa. So this is about as good as a hand can look. Yeah,
you have some nice high quality ink as well. Tipo is not ideal. We saw how feckless the Tipo was in that previous round, just sitting there doing nothing for the most part, and he does cost you an additional card from your hand,
and
as we're double Tipo there.
Another Tipo off the top, so one of those probably going into the inkwell here. And we've got 5 cards back for Dylan here, I think.
And we probably are looking for that Chromicon. It's been so important to your entire strategy here so far in this grand finals match. And we are in this game number 2. And I want to thank you all for being here. If you're tuned in and you like some Disney Lorcana, make sure you let us know. And this is the finals. We have an Illuminator will be going directly to the Disney Lorcana Challenge World Championship in beautiful and sunny Orlando, Florida. Have you been there before?
I have not been to Disney World, but it's definitely on my list of things to do.
You gotta lock in and win this tournament. That's going to be a nice trip. Hopefully they keep that same energy, and they brought all the players in from all over the world.
And all the casters in JDZ. That would.
I'm not trying to brag, okay, but I was there, okay. And let me tell you, it was
this guy flexing over here.
Maybe there's a world we can get this thing where everyone can come and be a part of the experience.
All right, we got a first-time chatter with how Lamb's going to win this. We have Miss Chromicon for the next 3 games. I think that's Jonathan's strategy right now. You got to cut the deck to a point where Dylan's just not going to see that Chromicon, because outside of that, this is looking very rough indeed.
And I think you gotta hope. I mean, you gotta give up. You can't ever give up hope. Okay, I think hope is a very important strat as well. Aside from eating your opponent's cards,
that's
you have to use
also an important strat.
You gotta have hope, and you have to just enter into the hope phase from time to time, and hopefully your opponent just can't get to it, or maybe they get to it at a point where you are already in a super advantageous position, and it doesn't affect you negatively.
Yeah,
I think that's the way to go.
And yeah, we got Genie into Elsa. We got a big Hades here, so this is not looking bad. And yeah, I like the quest here from the Octopus. So
if you want to go tramp here, I think you can waste it if you want to get this Bobby Zimmerowski.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty slow turn there for Dylan. So I think, yeah, if that's Dylan's best play here, I'm sure Jonathan's more than happy with that.
Absolutely, and the thing about Lamb, even if you are fortunate enough to win this game, you got to come back at it again on the draw multiple times and do that again, and that's just going to be such an uphill climb.
Double Daisy. Oh, we got to get this card on the ban list, man. You hate to see it. If we see a Chromicon next turn, I think Jonathan's just going to flip the table.
But honestly, I mean, I think Daisy is a good card, and I don't want to just ban all the good cards all the time, because the game gets super great if we do that. But we got to have aggro decks. There are people who love aggro strategies. Daisy is the pinnacle of aggro, and I think you have answers for this card, too, that exist. You just have to put them into your deck and play them. Talk about a spooky site. Where's that at? You can play it if you want to. They printed it for you, and you're not using it. That's on you, man.
That's true. All right, we have a miss on the Ursula, so finally something going right for Jonathan here.
Yeah.
We got Mowgli into the Inkwell, and again, we don't see
Chromicon. Yeah. Okay, so you're telling me there's a chance.
So
5 ink play, Elsa looking ready to strike, and she will come on through, do what she has to do. Very clean answer to a character.
Insert one of these daisies, and we'll see the challenge coming in.
And thinking about sending that, putting 2 damage there. Palace Royal Guard might be.
Yeah, I think I send in the Royal Guard here.
No, we're trying to
Jonathan
keep those
doesn't
board
want
around.
to give away that. And yeah, important to note on Dylan's side, we don't have a small lady set up for the shift line here, because Under the Sea would completely wipe the floor off for Jonathan's board here. So we might see Dylan try and develop that the next turn, or even just play out a small lady and represent Under the Sea, and then just try and get in your opponent's head.
And the big tramp.
If we can see Under the Sea here, there's maybe some bad news.
Oh no! Oh, I forgot. It's just this deck is just tacking on too many
levels. It can just do everything. It's aggressive. It can play tramps and challenge. You got the Chromicon. You got the Under the Sea. It just does everything.
Greg, how is this not the best deck in the format?
Well, I mean, it might be JDZ. We'll find out at the end
how
of
is
the
it not? Like, why is this not? I mean, it does have counters, but how is this just not the best deck in the format? Why is everybody on Blurple so hard when this exists? I mean, it's doing too much.
It has counters, but what have we seen Dylan take down today? We saw him take down Ruby Amethyst, which is the best counter. We've seen him take down Amethyst Steel, which Decisive. Is another counter.
I'm talking, that was a decisive.
Yeah, that was just clinical.
Annihilation there on that Amethyst Steel. So
like, he's run into all these quote unquote counter matchups and just made it look easy.
And I honestly don't know what to do.
If
I mean,
you
you're
know
doing too
in
much.
the chat how to beat this deck, maybe we need to see some Ruby Steel out here, JDZ.
We might.
That's the only answer.
Listen, Ruby Steel has a super 100% win rate. I think Ruby Steel is the deck that can counter this for sure.
It's the only answer.
A challenging ready character. Sign me up. Mulan charging ahead. I think the game designers gave us that early. They knew what time it was. And now it is going to be the meta. But we are fighting back hard. We do not have a Chromicon.
I do not mind this position here for Jonathan. No Chromicon on the board. We are vulnerable to Go-Go, but at the same time, Dylan's only on 0 laws. So Go-Go up to 3. We can quest up to 7, but I think Jonathan's going to be pretty happy with the position that they're in, and I'm pretty sure that last card in hand is a big Hades. So.
I'm absolutely loving this position, too. And, if you find a Demona right now, if Dylan can't get that hand size down low enough, Demona can't come through and boost the strength of that Royal Guard and be able to take down a significant amount of characters. There she is. Miss Park Avenue is going to come on through.
Color is law. You haven't lived until you've shifted a 9-5.
That Li Shang. What a surge
Gotta
that
get
lot.
some Ruby Steel enjoyers in the chat here. You'll love it.
You do haven't lived. What I've done with my flex of Li Shang is that I was able to use that 5-cost Li Shang, the steel one that's holding the bow and arrow, and I was able to sing Strength of Raging Fire with that Li Shang and to take out a character. There you go. So that's my Li Shang flex of the stream as we are aggressively questing again, questing, as we say, patent pending.
Yep.
There it is. And Lamb now has seized all of the initiative. This is looking bad for Dylan here.
Really good for Lamb. And it's just, again, that Chromacon. It's when you don't see it, it's bad news. And we saw that lady come down the previous turn, and Jonathan just not wanting to risk an Under the Sea song here.
For sure.
Yep, that would just... And do we
And I
have
believe
it in hand?
it is in hand as
that
well.
second card is Under the Sea, but we've only got Singer 4 on the board.
Which ain't going to get it
And
done.
I don't know if we have... If we got 3 1-drops in hand, we can't establish it. But if we can just play a 2-drop and a couple of 1-drops here, we're representing Singer 8, and then we'll just be the whole board against this lone Hades. That would be the only thing left.
But honestly, a Demona, as there it is, Go Tamago, the darting dynamo. Stop
3.
crying, stop whining, and warming up is going to be the name of that ability.
Gurgur Termagur.
Gurgur Tamago.
As the Australians say it.
Gurgur Tamago. There it is. That's my Australian accent.
Oh, and here we go. We've got Singer 8 set up. So if Jonathan doesn't find anything to deal with a readied character, that's...
Ooh,
right,
we
so
can
we're
dig
gonna see
again.
some Dumbos. That was a really good draw.
Pay it and draw it. Another one.
And
Breaking
we're
some more records.
looking for
Looking
Let It Go.
for Let It Go. Or,
We need a Let It Go here.
and I don't think you have it.
I don't think
get the
so.
quest in.
We're getting the quest in. And well, at least Dumbo doesn't get swept under the sea here, so that's something.
And you keep the Hades as
and
well.
we're questing up to 16. So actually, yeah, I mean, Jonathan doesn't. Unless we can see some Della's Moon lullabies, then yeah, Jonathan's position's looking pretty good here.
I would. Oh, a Delamoon lullaby is actually kind of cracked insane.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. As
Well, we need double Delamoon's lullaby and then a Rhino. So yeah, if we had 2 of them here, we can actually wipe the board. But
that is only 3 lore, so we are going to dig. Shout out to the ink there, sticking to the sleeve. Never seen that before.
all right,
We
so
are
draw
going to
5, discard 5.
So
Probably
you can
looking for that lullaby.
if you can go for the Under the Sea, you'll leave just the Hades and the Dumbo, get up to 19.
Get to 19, but you just have no way to interact with the Dumbo.
Yeah.
Well, there is double Go-Go, actually. So
For sure, that can challenge.
You've
Yeah.
got some challenging power, but it's not what you want to be doing.
So we're trying. I think we're digging for that Delamoon. The Chromacon now have to be discarded. So this is what Lamb loves to see. You're putting the questing power in play. We are getting a quite sizable discard down.
Just thinking it through here for Dylan. I think that would. Yeah, I'm sure they were looking for the Della's Moon lullaby there, and
I don't think they found it.
Yeah,
I don't think they
otherwise
found
this
it.
would be an easy choice. So.
And we are going to go ahead and do the Under the Sea play. Had to do that no matter what, just to stick around for another turn.
And then, what's the follow-up here for Dylan? I wonder what that is. That another tramp?
That's a tramp Street Smart dog, I want to say, in hand. Or the enterprising dog, I want to say. Whichever one. There are a lot of tramps in here.
Too many tramps.
Too many tramps, too many ladies. I do like the fact that they do have these 2, lady and tramp, in their own unique deck, and they work together. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I think the design on that was brilliant.
I mean, but it's too many, and they let's get active with it as we
and
are.
Another Dumbo, yeah. There's just and there's our man Tipo and the octopus. So.
And we are just going to
up
put
to 19. So yeah, Jonathan, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. And Dylan scoops it up. So finally, the Blurple deck on the play was able to find it, and yeah, I think just not finding the Chromacon was the difference there. So we might have someone who's read the future in chat. No Chromacons, and then if we see none of those for the next 3 games, maybe we see the reverse sweep here.
Absolutely. Jonathan Lamb showing some signs of life here and trying to fight back hard. And that is a great, showing some resilience and showing what is possible in the event that you don't get Chromacon out of this game. So good to see that. Oh, wait, hold up. Here we go. There we go. Whoop, it's one. There it is. And there it is. So huge shout out to Jonathan. But now you have the tremendous uphill climb.
Got to win
trying to do something to
2
draw.
games on the draw.
How
this
you
is going
do
to be
that?
very, very tough. I'm not even sure what cards you're looking for here.
I can't tell you.
You got to get one of these Octopus guards down on turn 1.
Yes.
I think that's the first thing you need to do. The second one, obviously, ramp. And then, yeah, just all of the 4-cost characters just feel a bit feckless here for this Blurple deck. So maybe you need to go Cat plus 1 drop. And, yeah, you just got to maybe dig and try and get some bodies on the board early and just hope that your opponent doesn't find that Chromacon.
I think so, man. I think this is tough. You are definitely between a rock and a hard place trying to do this thing on the draw. Even winning on the play seems fairly difficult, but doing on the draw seems almost insurmountable sometimes. But you don't get here. You don't get to be the DLC champion without cracking some eggs, I say. You have to do it the hard way from time to time, and this is what is required of you. Dylan has to be super comfortable in the position that they are in on the play, getting that alter in, and only sending 2 cards back to back. What do you think about that?
Not what Jonathan wants to see. Jonathan had a sail in hand, and I haven't seen a 1-cost character yet, so we've got to enter the unknown. But yeah, geez, this hand is not looking great.
I think I'm gonna keep that. Maybe there's a world where I'm gonna keep in the sale and I'm shipping.
Yeah,
man. I need to find somebody, dude.
I need some 1-costs.
Yeah.
I cannot get it done without a 1-cost character.
Or I would even like a Cheshire Cat here in this position. I'm keeping Sell the Other Sea, and I'm sending 6, and I'm hoping for better days. Those cards just don't. Those cards do not bring me joy. Shout out to Marie Kondo out there. I'm sending them out of there.
All right, so we're keeping the genie.
I don't know. Maybe that's the sin pile.
Yeah, maybe that's the sin pile. Yeah, I don't mind the Elsa here. I think that'll put in some work in the later game.
And you can't get
Sail and Elsa. Yep, 7-5.
But now you're in a spot where you're on the draw. Imagine getting Mowgli'd. You might have to keep the into the know just to protect yourself. I'm sorry. You might have to do it, Lamb. No.
Yeah.
Imagine Mowgli, please.
But you know, maybe you'll find the Tipo and he can ink the save.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
Never punish.
But still, Mowgli seems like an absolute devastating card here with only 1 action to be able to discard. And then you go Tipo and your hand is just going to get juiced. You won't have the resources to be able to defend yourself because you've got him discarded or you have put him into the inkwell with the Tipo.
But yeah, just look how calm Dylan looks here. Dylan he's played this matchup many times before. He is not even sweating up here.
Mowgli on 2, and you just absolutely cry. I mean, that is just it's just so many things you have to dodge. It's like running through a minefield, man. They have Ursula, they have Mowgli, they have Chromacon, they have Tramp, they have Under the Sea, they have actually everything.
Why is many tools?
This is too much, man. Like, they have too much gas, man. How do you stop it? As the Elegant Spaniel is going to come down on 1, threatening Tramp. Quest for 2, no 1-cost character. You love to see that if you are Dylan.
Dylan gets a free quest in here now.
Can't be Mowgli. Never Mowgli.
No.
Is it the Mowgli? Lilo down. Oh, it's a tree.
Oh, it's a tree.
Okay,
and
we'll take
the
tree.
And just quest for 1. Yeah, I think this is good. I think even if Jonathan loses the sale there, like it's a very slow turn just developing a 1-quester. So I think as the Dogs player, and I think that's interesting, with the new 2-cost Milan card, a lot of people thought this is going straight in Dogs. You play your Tramp, you pump it, you quest for 6, but I've tested that card, and just playing a single character on turn 2 is just so slow. So you've seen it every game from Dylan. He's always playing 2 cards on turn 2. You've just got to get that wide board, protect it with the Chromacon, and that's the way you're going to win
Tramp
the game.
off. I mean, Tramp, getting a Tramp early and cheap, and you have double, but the hand is kind of cooked there. You're kind of cooked there if you're Dylan. You need to have some rebuttal here. Dylan's staying calm, cool, and collected, but I'd be panicking there. Big Tramp, double Under the Sea is the hand. So you're kind of in between a situation there.
Yeah,
Dylan
that's
doing the best poker face he can, but
we can,
I'm actually panicking, though, if I'm Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, we can, if we find an ink here, we can go ink, and then with the tree discount, you can play the big Tramp on turn 3. So all we need to do is hit an inkable, and we're fine.
But do you want to hang on to one of those Undersea as the T-Bird is coming through?
Question.
Love me some Tipo, I suppose, in this spot, but not really. Maybe you send another Tipo. Is there a world where you send one of those high-cost Hades down to the Inkwell?
Yeah, maybe. Well, we've got the sail in hand as well. Maybe you just want to protect yourself.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I think you might be thinking of a double ramp line, getting rid of that second copy of Tipo, who's now exerted.
Yeah, Jonathan really going into the tank here. Even turn 2, and his
mapping
brain
it
is
out.
busted, man. This Chromicon has just done his head in, and he just doesn't know what's happening anymore. But yeah, geez, if Dylan misses ink here, that we might be seeing the start of a comeback here for Jonathan.
It looks like Dylan is in full meditation mode, really trying to focus the power of Chi and send that ink to the top of the deck, and it is inkable, but it's a card you kind of want to play. I mean, that Nani's looking like something I want to.
You gotta get this. You gotta get this tramp down. You gotta get one of these under the seas out.
He might be thinking about playing it. He looks like a gambling man. He's ready to gamble. He never mind. He said, "I'll take the road less traveled another day." As Tramp is going to come on through and fix my busted hand.
And I will say though, if Dylan doesn't find some business off the top of the deck soon, they are starting to run low on gas. Yeah, they've got the Tramp out, but they've got a bunch of 1/2s out on the board, and if they can't find a way to protect them with like a Chromicon or like a Shift Lady to refill the hand, they are going to run out of cards at some point.
And looking at the deck list, how many copies of Chromicon or Under the Sea are we playing?
We
We're playing
got two Under the Seas, and we got 3 Chromicons. So those are usually the first things you look at when you assess these dogs decks. So this one definitely more on the aggressive side with the Chromicons.
And you have 2 in your hand right now, and you see both of them going to the inkwell.
And
I'm certain Lamb is making a mental note of that. So Under the Sea is a threat that you're not going to have to worry about for the remainder of this game. Mowgli is also a card that you want to keep a nice count of now in the discard pile. But Lady can buy back that Mowgli.
4. I like it. But yeah, Jonathan, again, just this deck is so slow. He missed his one. If he had a 1-cost character right now, Dylan might be on 0 lore. Because if you had that Royal Guard out, checking the Lady, checking the tree, it's a completely different story. So yeah, just missing that 1-drop, really painful here for Jonathan.
Yeah, this is still a super tough spot. And you still have this Iago in your hand, which is your 4-cost play. I guess you could set up the Cheshire Cat right now instead of that Iago, because we talked about that before. A Delamoon's Lullaby onto your Iago, and you probably immediately lose.
That's a great question. The answer is no.
There is no Sven.
Jonathan
there is no Tigger.
Is not Sven Gaming out here.
Or Tigger Gaming. Yeah. You were just on straight up super basic Betty stock and lock, cock, and 2 smoking barrels, let it go, and run it back type deck. And it is very viable. I mean, you are at the grand finals.
Obviously, Jonathan's in the finals here, so it's been doing something, but just wasn't able to duck the dogs matchup long enough.
Yeah, give me those let it goes and let's run it back is what they said, I believe.
Yeah, we could. I like this suggestion in the chat. Sail double ink into Cat here could be very promising. You get your ink total up. The Cat's not the worst 4-drop to play anyway. Yeah. And I think that's what Jonathan's going to go for. So.
And I think he heard you. He's listening to the chat as he's locked in with you guys, feeling your energy from all over the realm. We still are going to cost 2 cards. Iago, Elsa, and Cat are now down.
Yep, not a bad turn here. And I think this is another thing, and you'll see this in the experienced Blurple players. You ramp on 2, and some players will ramp on 2, and that's it for the rest of the game. I'm just going to ink 1 card per turn. But when the situation calls for it, you got to be flexible, and sometimes the correct play is to ramp again on a later turn.
But you did have to, you still have those Hades, the Infernal Schemers, who are starting to become bricked in your hand.
A little bit of a liability there, so we need to find some ink for the next 2 turns.
And you kind of would like to hang on to that let it go as well. That is another clean answer to another potential threat that Dylan may be able to provide for you. Still have not seen that Chromicon. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Chromicon is going to be off the top right there.
And let's watch the look on Jonathan's face here if we see the Chromicon come down.
I'm crashing out. I mean, I'd already
flipping the table.
It would already be in my esophagus right now if it were me. So I'd already have consumed it. As Jonathan Lamb, no reaction.
He gives the thumbs up. I don't know why he's saying thumbs up. That's good. That was not good for you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
You should throw the thumbs down.
I'm like, hey man, you mind?
No.
I'm like, hey, you mind if I read that real quick? Oh sure. Here you go. What? Where's my card? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just chewing it up. I'm like, hey dude, he just ate my card. No, I didn't.
No, what card? What are you talking about?
All right, go ahead. Keep going.
All right.
Okay.
We see the Basil out here, so we can ink the Basil. We probably have to play Let It Go on the Tramp. We have to send the Cat in to challenge one of the ladies, but yeah, this is Dylan's lore total is just climbing and climbing, and they've got 1 card in hand. Just that big Tramp, filtering out those Under the Seas, finding the Chromicons. It went from looking a little bit sketchy to just completely in the driver's seat at this point.
and let it go on the big tramp. This is.
Oh, and we play the Basil.
I mean, this game is looking long in the tooth. It's never over, but you can kind of feel people are standing up and they're sliding the chairs in, and they're starting to the music is the music is starting to come in, and people are starting to shake hands, and you can kind of feel the end is imminent here for the 3-time Golden Mickey winner, as you have one lone Basil standing alone and unafraid, juxtaposed to a Nani, a Bobby, a Tree, and a Webby, followed by the Ursula. Double Hades.
And that Nani just juicing up this deck with the additional card draw. This was one of the things that this Dogs deck did previous sets. It just kind of ran out of gas at this point. But yeah, when you play the Nani, you find another card that you can then deploy on the same turn. And we've got the Go-Go Tamago in hand. So
you got to have some ink here at a minimum, I would say.
Yeah.
As the Basil is free and clear to challenge.
I think we'll see a challenge into the tree, and then we need Ink Slam Hades probably on the Nani. But we're still staring down 3 more lore up to 16. We've got the Go-Go in hand. It's just like removing multiple characters every turn is just not what Blurple is good at. So.
I mean, you could even bounce this Nani if you want to get real crazy with it, because you know your opponent has Hades in hand, and they're going to have to play that next turn. And there we go. Keeping that advantage train rolling. And there is the Bobby Zimuruski is going to be the hit. And you are whittling down this board ever so slightly, but Nani is going to generate another plus. This card is so good with Chromicon. The synergy is endless.
We used to see this when people would play Emerald Steel, and their draw engine was like the Chromicon and the dock, and it's like you play your dock, and then your opponent challenges something, you bounce your dock with your own Chromicon, and it was just over and over again. We're seeing a similar sort of thing going on here.
And there's just so many different ways this deck is attacking from.
Dock. Oof, this is looking brilliant for Dylan here.
And the questing continues. We do have a Hades, the Infernal Schemer, is in hand, so we can get to a point where we can challenge in with the Hades, and maybe you can get a bounce on the Hades and then redeploy the Hades and send a 2-quester away. But again, you're just walking in quicksand, man.
Every turn, it feels like Dylan's been able to play multiple characters, and you've been able to play one. It's just so tough.
So we might be getting the handshake starting to extend here, as Hades, the Infernal Schemer, is going to be deployed. Daisy Duck goes away.
Well, we might see a challenge come through, but
Hades, the Infernal Schemer, has to get active, because that is a lot of lore in place. Taking down that.
And we let it go. All right. Well, that was a pretty good turn for Jonathan, but even so, what do we got? 15 lore, probably questing up to 18, and we got the Go-Go in hand. So,
man. This is tough indeed. Ursula, Webby, and Lady. Lady only quested for 1. I think you could play 2 characters and get her up to 3. Wait a minute. Quest for 3. 18. Get up to 18. Double Go-Go is the hand. And is there a world where we just hold these things, or do you deploy them?
I think
you always deploy.
That
is it.
I like it.
So I think this game is going to be over, and I think Jonathan Lamb recognized that.
There it is.
Out.
Well done.
And Dylan Leduc is going to be your DLC Melbourne champion.
Woo!
Getting it done,
well done
in decisive fashion. And the Dogs ain't heard no bell, finishing it right where they left off